What's going on YouTube? JT Born here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Superman issue number 36. This one is written by Joshua Williamson with artwork by Dan Mora. This issue, of course, deals with part of the fallout of the DC K.O. event where Superman became King Omega, stopped Darkseid, and then kind of went off and disappeared. So we're kind of dealing with a little bit of the fallout of that thing, but we're also dealing with Superboy Prime, and what is he going to be up to? What's his new role going to be at DC? Because without Superman or a guiding force, he can't exactly turn back to his reality, but he's also on the path of trying to redeem himself. He has his redemption arc moment, but not everybody is going to feel really comfortable around the guy who did some pretty bad things, and that sort of stuff is going to kind of carry over with him, and no matter what he tries to do going forward, it's something he's always going to have to kind of live with. But he's trying, he's adamantly trying to do better. This is about him trying to find a job and a footing in this world. There's a little bit of unease amongst the Justice League members. There's also some Justice League members thirsting over him too, which I thought was kind of funny. But because Superman vouched for him, Lois did too. I knew I was going to like this issue within the first page right here, and it's basically sums up everything I've been saying for a while with these whole DC event things. He's like, Superboy Prime comes in, basically breaks the fourth wall right here. Listen, I know we all just went through one of those big events we all love, right? Event fatigue, blah, 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 cash grab, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, for the next few months, what if you and I just have a bunch of fun? Okay, we'll go on a hero's journey, learn some very self-important life lessons, and beat up supervillains, maybe make some new friends along the way. That's exactly the sentiment I've been echoing for a while right now. So kudos to you, Superboy Prime. You were speaking directly to me and how I felt about DC as in their events as a whole. So I knew right away, okay, you won me over within the first page. As long as they kind of stuck the land with the rest of it, which they did. I genuinely do like this one. He faces off against a villain, which he mentions is something that hasn't been seen in a while. Of course, you have everyone kind of thirsting over him. You have Zatanna, you have Katana, you have Huntress, and Vixen's yeah, he's kind of a psycho though, and they don't necessarily want him on here, which is interesting too, because they're willing to kind of grant amnesty to other characters as well. But then again, maybe because they're granting him that, you can see the unease from them on this side, but now we got to wait to see what they do in Justice League Unlimited, which I just covered that video, and the video I just uploaded right before this one. So, but yeah, Prime's there, he's doing his thing. Lois trying gets the idea of maybe I'll get him a job at the Daily Planet. That's not quite working out, and he's got to try and balance his kind of dual livelihood. So he faces off against a villain known as Ignition. He's that's a deep cut, haven't seen in a while, and I do like how he's kind of breaking the fourth wall throughout it, most of this comic book, and he's just trying to bring up things from the audience reader perspective, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So he's there and he faces off, takes him down, and then eventually he does get a job at a comic book shop, and he kind of gets ready to set up his apartment, and things are going okay for him too. And then of course you get the ending of the issue with the returning Manchester Black as a ghostly spirit of sorts. What's going on with that? I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see within next month's issue. So overall, I thought this was a really solid issue from start to finish. Dan Mora's artwork is fantastic. I do like how it acknowledges, yeah, they don't just brush aside the bad things that Superboy Prime has done in DC, but they acknowledge he's gone on the path to redeem himself. He helps save the universe, but there's always going to be a little bit of that uneasiness with reform villains, and that makes sense too. And you have Mr. Terrific bringing up some good points here, and we also brought up too that Lois's powers are kind of on the fritz and all that too. So, but also bringing up the points of this guy views us as comic book characters, right? He kind of knows our history, deep, intimate moments about ourselves that others wouldn't know, and that kind of scares people. So okay, that's kind of a cool idea, a cool concept, but I just really enjoyed this thing. And you know what? I know this is a Superman title, but I was okay with Superman not really being in this issue. I'm totally fine with letting Superboy Prime just kind of run things for a little bit. Give me a few months of this, and then I'll be ready for more Superman stories to come back. Obviously, I love Superman. He's one of the greatest heroes of all time, but I'm really enjoying this Superboy Prime thing, and I think Williamson is clearly having a lot of fun writing this character more than anything I've seen in a while from him. He's done well on Superman, but I think he's clearly having a lot more fun writing Superboy Prime than say other characters. I don't know, I just kind of get that with the writing and all that too. So solid Dan Mora artwork, interesting character stuff with Superboy Prime and trying to make himself accustomed to this world, and it's fun. It's a fun, entertaining comic book from start to finish, and yeah, I'm digging it. I'm liking Superboy Prime in this thing right now. I think it's fun. So what did you all think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. I'll be back again later on with some other DC comic book reviews, because I covered Justice League Unlimited, and I got this one. I got to catch up on last week's stuff because this is 2 weeks ago. So I'm all caught up with the stuff from 2 weeks ago, and I got last week, and then I got to get this week, and then we should be all like golden goose good to go with this comic book stuff, and then I can start working on other things. So slowly but surely I'm playing catch up again. I know I've been doing that for a lot the past few months, but it's been a crazy like start to the year. The first quarter of this year has just been mentally and physically kind of draining. So I'm hoping that quarter number 2, if you break it down by like, you know, the 4 like 3 month periods, that's, you know, things will get a little bit better in that too. So and I'm hopeful for that. I'm hopeful for that now that we're in a post-Easter timeline, that things will start to ease up a little bit. But anyways, that's all I have to say about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.